Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video on GT7 to help you earn as much credits as quickly as possible. So this week's a little bit different. We have added 2 new time trials to the game, and one of them is a repeat combination. Now I do have a guide on this previously, but I have redone this to add in a few extra details. I think last time I spent probably a few more laps doing the lap because it was a little bit quicker. I think we went 2 tenths quicker last time, but yeah, I didn't spend too long because I had to do 2 of these. And we wanted to get guides done for both of them in one video. So if you follow this video, you should be able to get 4 million credits. If you can only get silver, you should still be able to earn 2 million credits from 2 very short laps. So to enter this, you're going to go into sport mode in the top right hand corner there, and you're going to be seeing that you have free time trial guides available when you click on the online time trial section. Now I've got guides for all of these on the channel, so you can check them out. We've got the Spa one, the BMW one at Redbull, and also the Michelin Road Atlanta time trial that we're going to go into first of all. So to go into this, you're going to see there the current gold is currently at 101.3. I'm predicting that will go down to a 1 minute 0.7 for the gold by the time it's finished around that level. I was currently in the top 10. I don't expect it to stay there because I didn't spend very long doing this. I just wanted to get a 59 in. That's all I wanted, a 59-second lap, and then get the guide out to help you out. So let's get into this first one, then we'll move on to the Red Bull ring after this. So hit the like button, subscribe if these help you out. It all helps me out on the channel. So let's try and earn you these credits as quickly as possible. So going into turn 1, we're going to get the car over to this little bit of tarmac on the left hand side. Use that to widen the line in. You can see I'm not on the brakes. All I'm going to do is give a little lift off the throttle, and you can see there we're going 192 miles an hour at that point now, and then it's pretty much flat out all the way, just about keeping it on the curb there. And then as we approach the braking zone, you can see the dotted white line. We're going to get on the brakes there at 185 miles an hour, and we're going to start slowing that down, keeping it to the left, trail braking in, and then just before the curb ends there, we're going to start turning this in and aggressively on the brake. You can see much more aggressively trail braking into the corner. Get the right hand side all the way over the curb at the slowest point of the apex there. You can see 112 miles per hour before getting back on that throttle and accelerating out, flat out now, completely flat out all the way through this section. You don't need to worry about the lines. It's just about keeping the car as close to the apexes as possible, because you are sometimes coming from an awkward angle. Now this corner is a difficult one. You don't have to do the line that I do here, but you can see onto the brakes at 179 miles per hour. Now I get the car over like the ghost, so you can see ahead, right hand side up onto the grass. You don't have to do that. It's just going to give you much better, wider line in. You can see from this angle now, the wider the line in, the better you can get on that throttle and the more exit speed you'll get. So at the slowest point of the apex there, 117 miles per hour, and we're fully back on the throttle at this point, accelerating into 5th gear. Early shift into 5th gear just to try and keep it a bit smoother. Be careful you don't run wide there, easily invalidate the lap at that point of the corner. And now we're going to get on the brakes just before the 200 board on the left hand side. You're going to go just past the 300 and then onto that brakes before the 200. Now keep it all the way through this corner here. You can see at the midpoint of the apex at 113 miles per hour at the middle point of the apex, at the slowest point of the apex, sorry, and then back onto that throttle. And then again you can see as we hit 130 miles per hour, pretty much as soon as the car is straight lined, we're onto the brakes and slowing it down for this tight right hand corner. Now this corner is a tricky one. You've got to get it slowed down as early as possible so you can get back up to 3rd gear for the acceleration. And you can see at our slowest point 61 miles per hour, and then we're going to go up to 3rd gear as we accelerate out this corner. So you can see before I get on the accelerator, I go up to 3rd gear, then use the accelerator out 50% throttle before we go to 400% throttle, and now accelerating maximum attack all the way down this straight, just revving out into the next braking zone. So into this final chicane now, we're going to brake just short of the 100 board on the right hand side. You can see it there, just short of that 100 board, and you can see our maximum speed at that point is 199 miles per hour. And now we're going to slow this car down and try and get it over the curb on the left hand side. You can really take a lot of the curb off. So down to 4th gear, slowing it down, already starting to line this car up to get over the curb. You can see left hand tire up over the curb, actually goes over the grass a little bit, and then at our slowest point there, 77 miles per hour before we're going to start accelerating to the second part of the chicane. And at this point you can see we're just going to give it a little lift off the throttle. We're not going to get on the brakes because we're just going to lift off the throttle, let the car coast a little bit down to 83 miles per hour, and then back onto that throttle. And be careful on the throttle as you exit here. You have to be feeding that throttle in. Don't just go instant. You've got to let that throttle slowly feed in, and then it's completely flat out all the way to the finishing line. for a 59.9. Now I did a 59.7 last time, but like I said, I didn't spend too much time doing this. I just got into the 59s, and then that was done because I needed to move on to the other time trial. Now let's have a little watch of this lap from the chase camera. You can see using all the track available there, and again over the curb, and then this section here, you're really going to see what I was talking about with regards to the grass on the right hand side. Using that grass to widen the line in, it shouldn't be available to do it like that, but if you want to get the extra 2 tenths or whatever out of this lap, you do need to really push it like that. But if you're just going for gold, you don't need to do that. Keep it on the curb, and you should still easily be able to get the gold on this time trial event. So again, you can see flat out on this straight, and then into that braking zone, you're going to see how you can again use a lot of the grass on the entry point to this first apex. So keep your eye on the left hand side of the car, and you can see as we go over the curb, left hand tire is pretty much on the grass on that little bit of mud. And then again, just be careful at this point. It's so easy to snap the rear and spin out and pretty much wreck your lap. So over line there, 59.9. It's good enough for a track guide. We got it into the 59s. That was the main goal. So moving on to the next one. Again, we managed to get this briefly into the top 10. Currently at this point of recording, P6. And again, didn't spend too long on this at all. We didn't really put... I actually did more laps on the Redbull than this one, but we managed to get a reasonable lap in there that should be able to help you get the goal time. Now again, I do predict this time will drop down quite considerably, so you are probably going to want to aim to get your lap into the 59 seconds. You might still get the gold with a low 1 minute lap, but better to be safe than sorry. Now on this lap, I did have an added spoiler and side skirts and front bumper on this car. It doesn't make any difference to the performance, just did it for the fun of it. So going into the braking zone for turn 1, we're going to brake just past the 150 and just before the 100 board there at 120 miles per hour. So onto the brakes, and now you're going to get this car positioned up using the full width of the track there to widen the line into turn 1, and we're going to get the car right over the curb here. So you can see wide line entry over the curb, and your right hand tire pretty much on that yellow sausage curb there, or the yellow curb, and we're hitting a low speed of 63 miles per hour before getting back on that throttle and accelerating out. Now be very careful on the exit. You have to keep your right hand tires on the curb. If your right hand tire doesn't stay on that curb, you're going to invalidate the lap. And now into the next braking zone. I use the board, the AlphaTauri board, as a reference for my braking, making sure I brake before that, and you can see there onto the brakes nice and early, and now slowing the car down for this next right hand corner. Now the trick here is to keep it as narrow to the apex as possible. Try not to let the car run wide. You want to keep it as close to that white line, almost get your right tire to just follow the right white line all the way around the corner. Now our slowest speed at the apex there is 51 miles per hour, and then you can see the speed is going to start increasing as we work our way through these twisty corners. And again, for this next left here, I'm not going to hit the brake. You're going to see just a little lift off the throttle there, just to start rotating the car with a bit of weight transfer, and then back onto that throttle aggressively as we power our way out this left hand corner. You want to get on that throttle as early as possible, because the more speed you carry out of this corner, the more speed you carry all the way into the final braking zone for the two last corners. So now flat out on this straight, revving this BMW out, looking for the 100 board as we approach it. Now you can see there's the 100 board. We're going to brake just in between that and the 50 board there, just past the 100 board at about 115 miles per hour. And now you're going to start rotating this in. You can see at this point here, we downshift the third just past that 50 board. And what that does, it starts sliding the car in slightly. And you can just judge that with a bit of throttle input on the exit and carry some decent speed through that corner. Our lowest speed at that point, 79 miles per hour, and then we're back accelerating. And then pretty much as soon as the car is in a straight line there, you can see onto the brakes nice and early here. The better to be early on the brakes, 92 miles per hour, and get this car rotated into this apex, because you can take a chunk off this apex. You can see now, this is our lowest speed, 69 miles per hour, because we're back onto that throttle and accelerating out the corner. You want to be on the throttle as early as possible to take as much speed over the start finishing line. And we managed to go over the line on a 59.1, I think it is. It's not an amazing lap. I think there's a 58 in that pretty easily, but like I said, I just wanted to get these guides out so you lot can try and find some tips to get you these credits. 4 million credits up for grabs this week, so hopefully you lot can get them. If not, 1 million on each one, still 2 million credits. Some nice credits to go and buy some cars with. So again, watching this lap with kilometers an hour on in that chase camera view, you can see again into this corner how I just try and keep it very narrow to this apex. It really is important for your lap time on this one. keep it narrow for there. Do not let it run wide, because if you run wide, you then compromise your entry into this next corner. So vital you keep it narrow so that you get the exit of this corner, more speed all the way into that braking zone for the last 2 corners. So again, this third gear shift is also very important. If you time it right, you can drift it around this corner really nicely. As you can see, as we're going down onto the brakes, third gear, let it rotate in, use the curb, back onto the throttle, and again, just be careful your right hand tyre doesn't creep out of the curb. Again, on the exit here, just be careful with the exit that your right hand tyre doesn't creep over that curb. Could have probably took a bit more speed over that last corner, and probably took a 10th off that lap, but yeah, there was loads more in other corners as well. So hopefully this will help you out. Let me know in the comments if it has, and hopefully you can earn some nice credits this week. 2 separate time trials up for grabs. I think this is only happens every now and then, but yeah, 4 million credits in total that you can earn. See you soon for another video, everyone. Bye.